Guys, today, Caitlin Clark got fined $200. Kathy, what do you think you are accomplishing by that? What kind of message do you think you're accomplishing by doing? You're not even making an example out of her by finding her an exorbitant amount of money. You are literally making a joke out of yourself by finding her such a
The WNBA has once again landed in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. And this controversy captures the very heart of its leadership failures. This time, the issue isn't blown whistles or questionable officiating. It's the league's choice to punish its brightest star simply for daring to speak out about problems everyone can see.
And we know how this works because Sophie Cunningham has told us how this works. If you talk about the refereeing, if you talk about the officiating, on the InstaFace, on the TikToks, on the Twitters, any of that social media, in the public, in the interview, if you mouth it in the shower, Kathy Engelbert will peek in and look around at you and point at you and be like, you're fined. Even though she won't clean up the officiating in her trash-ass league? Okay.
Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's game-changing guard, who has almost single-handedly reshaped women's basketball, was slapped with a $200 fine after posting "Refs couldn't stop us" on Instagram following her team's playoff win over the Atlanta Dream.
So during the game, we saw here, the Fever players celebrating. I would assume, based on the reaction, that this was after the Lexi Hull steal and everything. And Caitlin Clark on Instagram commented this: "Refs couldn't stop us. Elite bench mob. It wasn't for the lack of trying. Glad they're having fun and celebrating like no other teams. Will she get fined for saying that?" Yeah, she got fined.
The timing says it all, as the Fever make their deepest playoff push in nearly 10 years, stunning the basketball world by stealing Game 1 of the semifinals from the heavily favored Las Vegas Aces. The WNBA chooses that very moment to flex its authority and come down on Clark.
Here on the WNBA's time, or the NFL's time, or the NBA's time, getting fined when you're on their time, criticizing the officials, calling out the officiating. I've seen players get fined for that. But when you're on your own time, well, now, other than Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark seems to be the two players that come to my mind of players getting fined, criticizing the officials, doing it on their own time, quote unquote, off the clock.
Rather than highlighting the incredible storylines unfolding in these playoffs, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and her staff seem more concerned with policing Instagram captions and handing out petty fines for honest comments that simply state what fans already recognize.
It is real. The hate is real, Kathy. I see you hating on us from a mile away, Kathy Engelbert. We all see it. You out here trying to find Caitlin Clark. You out here finding the one person who's actually bringing money into this league. What a joke. You're mad that the Indiana Fever are here right now. Y'all didn't expect us to get this far. Y'all really didn't expect. We got Sophie Cunningham exposing the whole league agenda, exposing them. Caitlin Clark mocking them all on Twitter, all on Instagram, everywhere, because they.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's be absolutely clear about what went down. After Indiana's nail-biting 87-85 win over Atlanta in the deciding Game 3 of their first-round series, Clark dropped two simple comments under the Fever's celebratory Instagram post: "Elite bench mob and refs couldn't stop us." That second line, just 4 words echoing what millions of fans have been saying all season, was somehow enough to earn her a $200 fine from the WNBA's thought police. The absurdity speaks for itself.
What world do we live in? I'm pretty sure she just said the refs can't stop them celebrating. This isn't even her going at refs. It's literally like if you say the word refs and you're an Indiana Fever player, you're going to get fined. If you say the word refs as a Fever player, the word referees has to be spoken. It cannot be said by an Indiana Fever player, otherwise it's a fine. And the worst part is if they got fined for celebrating. So I don't think only she got fined, not everybody. There's other people on the floor everything. She's not like they're celebrating. The timeout's been called, or the foul's been called. It is what it is.
This is the same league that has stood by all season while its brightest star was systematically targeted. Yet the moment she so much as hints at the officiating, in the mildest way possible, they drop the hammer as if she committed some unforgivable sin. And here's the kicker. Clark isn't even playing in these playoffs. A groin injury cut her second season short after just 13 games, leaving her sidelined since July. The very player who brought unprecedented attention and revenue to the WNBA, who packed arenas and drove television ratings to record highs, has been forced to watch from the bench while her teammates push forward without her. And still, even off the court, even while battling the frustration of being unable to contribute, Clark somehow ends up in the league's crosshairs for the offense of saying what everyone already knows.
WNBA definitely got to play these women more. You guys to pay these women more. Cause what the hell is a $200 fine? This picture right here is giving me Mom Made Pizza Rolls vibes. Mom Made Pizza Rolls and everybody. Caitlin Clark was fined $200 for her comments she left on the IG post. She said refs couldn't stop us, meaning they advanced to the next round despite the refs trying to throw them a curveball every game, despite having to play against the refs. And the league said, "Oh hell nah, you gotta run me that. You gotta run me that 200. You got to run me that 2."
Clark's own reaction summed it up perfectly. She couldn't even pretend to take the punishment seriously. "Got fined $200 for this LOL," she wrote on X, adding laughing emojis and promising the bench mob would be even rowdier the next night. Teammate Sophie Cunningham joined the chorus, joking that the fine would really break the bank for Clark and sarcastically offering to start a GoFundMe. These are professional athletes openly laughing at the league's feeble attempt at intimidation. And who could blame them? The numbers only make the fine look pettier. Clark's WNBA salary sits at $78,000, but her endorsement portfolio with Nike, Gatorade, and other major brands is worth tens of millions. In raw terms, the $200 fine amounts to roughly 0.007% of her estimated net worth, pocket change. The point was never the money, it's the message. Instead of confronting the very real officiating problems that have plagued the league all season, the WNBA chose to silence the players calling them out. And the most frustrating part? Clark's comment wasn't even controversial. She didn't name officials, didn't curse, didn't threaten. She simply pointed out that not even the refs could stop her team from winning. At best, it was a playful nod to her teammates' resilience and their ability to overcome adversity. Yet somehow that was deemed punishable, while the actual issues that fueled the comment continue to fester unchecked.
Sophie has got jokes. She retweeted this. That's really going to break the bank for her. Starting a GoFundMe now. Sophie, you got jokes. Hun, you got jokes. Yeah, so Sophie Cunningham Central, I'll donate.
The timing of this fine lays bare the WNBA's upside-down priorities. As Clark was being punished for a harmless Instagram comment, her teammates were gearing up for a semifinal clash with the Las Vegas Aces, a team fresh off celebrating Aya Wilson's 4th MVP award. Step back and look at the optics. Wilson, the league's most decorated active player, is being rightfully honored for her greatness, while Clark, the league's most popular and marketable star, is being penalized for lightly criticizing officiating. It's a perfect snapshot of everything broken in the way this league operates. And the bigger picture makes it even more absurd. Officiating has been a sore spot all season long, for players, coaches, and fans alike. From the infamous Fever, Sun brawl that spiraled into 5 technicals and 3 ejections, to a steady drumbeat of inconsistent whistles and glaring no-calls, the quality of officiating has been impossible to ignore. Coaches have been fined for daring to speak up. Players have racked up technicals at alarming rates. Fan outrage has hit unprecedented levels. Yet instead of tackling these systemic problems head-on, the league is preoccupied with silencing the people pointing them out.
And finding players for being excited on the bench and for letting it be known how trash your referees are. Why don't you start finding referees for not calling fouls? Why don't you start putting that type of energy into making sure the game is played better? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Because that would be nice. That would be nice if you could do that.
But instead of fixing these systemic issues, the WNBA keeps shooting the messenger. Golden State coach Natalie Nikasi was fined for raising concerns about officiating bias. Fever coach Stephanie White has spent months calling out the disrespectful treatment her team receives. Even Las Vegas coach Becky Hammon, whose squad often benefits from favorable whistles, has admitted the officiating is subpar in other games. The pattern couldn't be clearer. The people who know basketball best are all saying the same thing, and the league's only response is to fine them rather than solve the problem. That's what makes Clark's fine sting even more. Indiana's playoff run without her has been nothing short of miraculous. This team, gutted by injuries that sidelined 6 key players, including their franchise cornerstone, has somehow clawed its way to the semifinals for the first time since 2015. They toppled the 3rd-seeded Atlanta Dream in a nail-biting 3-game series, then stunned the basketball world by blowing out the 2nd-seeded Las Vegas Aces on their home floor, 89-73. Kelsey Mitchell was sensational, dropping 34 points, the 2nd highest total in Fever playoff history, and proving that Indiana's fight runs far deeper than just one superstar.